Hello, folks. I am back, and I'm here to talk about my shooting impressions with the Matchweight comp on here. I've been posting some pictures and so forth. I will be posting some short videos on this to let you see what I did. So here is what I like about this comp here. So one of the things is, if you saw the pictures before, there's a before and after picture I posted. It had like this long duck-billed nose on there. The weight here is steel, and it weighs 12 ounces, which makes this firearm pretty hefty. This weight here is very good. It keeps the firearm pretty much flat. I was hitting groups like this, and I've almost forgot I was shooting a 45 ACP. That's how good this weight is. It kept a good balance. It kept it where it's at a point where you could just aim and just fire, even from double action mode. I thought I would have problems with the double action mode where I'd be shaking a little bit. If you do hold your arm out extended for a little bit of period of time, the weight will get to you a little bit, but like I said, you got to eat your Wheaties. It with ammo in it, it won't be as nose heavy. It's going to be pretty much stable, but after, like, I'm holding it right now empty with no ammo in it, it's pretty nose heavy at this point. One of the things what I did was I took a rental from my job and I started using what is that? The Mark 23. So the Mark 23, if you know anything about it, that is a big firearm. It's a little bit bigger than this one and this is a 6-inch barrel. And I believe that's a 6-inch or a little more with the threaded barrel on it. And I was shooting both of these firearms to compare the weight and the length. And without this weight on here, it's a little flippy, but you can get right back on target. Little flippy with the Talon grips on it. It wasn't really bad without the weight, but once you put the weight on it, it's very different. So comparing that to the Mark 23, the Mark 23 is a huge firearm. One of the things, and I'm trying to put my words together for it, I'm just saying it's a very huge firearm. It's accurate, just as this one is. It's a very accurate firearm, but I think you feel more of a recoil impulse. I mean, like the slide kind of like slaps you. It kind of like hits you, and if you have a good grip, you're fine. But I think with the Mark 23, you got to remember the Mark 23 is such an older design, as well as this one. This is a much older design as well. So I think what they did, they were making these firearms, and they don't have the same ergodynamics as the newer firearms do. But being that this has an older design than the Mark 23 seems a little more crude, if that's the word for it. It just seems very different from this shooting experience here. So I would say that this is a better shooter than the Mark 23. I know that sounds bold, but if you shoot a USP expert and you shoot the elite, I think you'll have a much more pleasurable experience with the USP versus the Mark 23. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And this weight on here helps you achieve that. It helps you get a better flat shooting experience. You got to remember, it is a 45 ACP. So your follow-up shots are going to change your group from this to a little bit wider. It's going to. I didn't measure it, so I'm guessing at this point. I have 1-inch groups with this, but then as you start to shoot a little faster, those groups get a little bit wider. They become like 3 inches or so. But this is a very good asset to the firearm, to this firearm. Let me tell you one of the negatives. Now, one of the negatives, somebody got in contact with me in the comment section. He said, these can possibly crack your frame on your firearm. And I've heard that before. I think what you have to do is do not tighten these screws too tight. You want to be able to hand tighten them, but don't overdo it with the tightening on here, because I've heard reports in the past that if you tighten these too much, the frame would crack under stress as you're shooting. So this is why HK, if you send in a cracked frame to them saying it broke, you want to put it on warranty, you pretty much void your warranty. HK is not going to help you out with that once they find out that you put one of these on here and the frame is cracked. So it's just one of those things. It's just like FN. You void your warranty if you put a suppressor on their scars. So this is one of the things that might be a negative to people when you talk about putting one of these weights on here. And I think that's the only thing that I could say that would be a negative, that there's that possibility of voiding your warranty or possibility of cracking. Like I said, you just do a hand tightening, don't overdo it, and then you can use this weight on here with no issue. So my experience with this, am I going to use this weight on knowing what I know? Absolutely. I'm going to use it because it changes the shooting ability on this. I will shoot it with both, with it on and with it off, but right now I'm enjoying this right here, and it helps out a great deal. I don't know much more to say about it, but those videos are going to be posted up, and you're going to see that they're pretty much are going to be shorts. So you'll see some of them. You'll see about maybe three or four of them. I'm kind of shocked that I do like this better than the Mark 23. That was the big shocker. So you'll see the Mark 23 next to it. With that said, happy shooting, stay safe, #2A.